I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here? I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here? Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are in the world today. And if you're wondering why the heck I show up on video, it's because of all of you. It's because of my love, my family, my friends, gratitude, because I want to see you flourish and grow. If you're listening on radio, we just went live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. And we are getting ready to interview an amazing woman, somebody who I love dearly. She is someone who has been really someone that I could look up to, someone, a woman that I can say truly embodies what a Wonder Woman should be. I apologize. You can hear my nose is blocked. I am still under the weather, but I'm here. I'm here. I'm present. Thank you to you if you're watching live. Please drop us a comment and let us know where you're tuning in from and um, any messages that you'd like us to read to people that are celebrating International Women's Day. I would like to take this opportunity to just wish all of those women out there that are watching, that are listening, a happy International Women's Day. Each time, and I want to read you a quote actually by Maya Angelou. And she says, each time a woman stands up for herself without knowing it, possibly without claiming it, she stands up for all women. So, thank you to you for what you do, for standing up, for making sure that somebody else is heard, somebody else is seen. Thank you. Thank you. Without further ado, I would love to be able to say hello to my beautiful friend, Babalwa.
Hi Inga, how are you?
I'm awesome. Good to see and hear you. I'm actually just turning up my volume. Good to see you.
Thank you so
Let's
much
see.
for
I
having me.
think let's see. Good to see you, Bubs. Thank you for being here and coming to share your light with all of us. I just want to make sure that our people in the audience can hear. Just adjusting my volume.
Great.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Perfectly.
I'm, let me see. This is the tricky part because I'm trying to make sure that I can hear Let's see.
Okay.
Can you say something, please, Babala?
Thank you for having me, Inga.
Mm-mm. And when I tasted this
It was
before,
fine.
yeah, it was fine. So I'm just trying to make sure that everybody can hear you,
Okay,
especially
awesome.
on radio. Um, can you say something, please?
Okay, thank you.
Mm-mm. It is
One.
not picking up again. 1 second. I love this part. The troubleshooting begins. Oh my goodness.
You know what?
Okay,
You're all
Babs,
the way.
let's hear you.
Okay. How's Canada?
Your message. 1 second.
Okay.
Oh, you can hear me on radio and on Facebook. Okay.
Okay, awesome.
Let me
Glory.
wait, please. I just changed something. So let me know if you can hear us.
Okay.
Solomela, welcome.
Thank you.
I can't hear you now.
No, man. You can't hear me, Ings?
Let's see.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. This is crazy.
Not to worry. We're almost there.
Say something?
Can you hear me now?
Nope. I can't hear.
Okay.
Okay.
And now?
Let me unplug and see if I can hear you. Speaker?
Okay, can you hear me?
Nope.
Oh,
This is the best part.
I know. Okay.
Okay. Let me hear you now, Bubs.
Okay, can you hear me, Ings?
I
Nothing.
can't hear you at all.
Okay.
Just getting a message.
Okay.
Let's take a break
Yeah.
so we can sort out the sound. I'll play one more song for you. Apologies for the
No
interruption.
worries. Not to worry. Don't worry. It's gonna be fine.
I love the song.
It's beautiful.
Just trying to see what the issue is. Can you speak now?
Can you hear me? Let's try again. Don't worry.
Babala?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Um, can you hear me now?
Okay, apologies for the break. We are having some technical difficulties, of course. Um, let's try.
Okay, can you hear
I'm
me?
gonna disconnect. Let
Can
me
you hear
disconnect
me?
from. I can hear you now,
Awesome.
but I can't hear it on my my other device, and so
Which
the
is,
the sound is not streaming to the radio.
oh no, okay.
Yeah,
So
so
what do
it's
we need
okay.
to
It's
do?
not you. It's not you. It's the setup, and it's not. It was working when we tested it.
Yes.
Um,
So let's reconnect again and then see if it works.
no,
Yeah.
it's okay. I'm gonna MacGyver it again.
Okay.
Apologies to the people that are watching.
Okay.
But I need to MacGyver it now.
All right.
We're just playing another song. Let me turn it up. If you're watching live, please drop us a comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Um, and anything that you would like us to say, a dedication to the woman in your life, woman or women in your life. So we're just wrapping up the song on the radio, and then we'll go on to the interview. Because I am a queen. Awesome. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you to you if you're tuned in live. Drop us a comment, let us know you're tuning in. And if you would like to become part of the conversation on our radio chat on AfriKaap Radio, please send us a message and let us know. You may do so via the WhatsApp group that we have for Africa Radio. I'm just grabbing the number so I can tell you. It is +2 7 6 9 7 1 4 4 5 2 0 4. And if you heard our song, it was Radio by India Ari. And she says, I'm not the average girl on your video. I love that. I love the song because it really reminds us that us as women are also human beings. So, welcome, Babaloa. Thank you for being here.
Thank
Please,
you.
please introduce us to who is Babaloa. Tell us who you are, what you do, and take it away.
Great. Thank you so much, Inga, for having me. It's absolute honor and privilege to be on this platform and to be featured as a Wonder Woman. I mean, seriously, I'm just an ordinary girl doing amazing things for people because I really love people. My name is Baba Solombela. I'm a diversity, equity, and inclusion specialist working for a corporate. And I've got three girls, three beautiful girls, my kids, and a great husband. And I'm really excited to be part of you today. So, just a little bit on my background. I studied at Rhodes University, Bachelor of Social Work. And then I also did a psychology honors degree. And then I went on to do my master's in social work. And that's been the anchor of my corporate career. It actually is anchored on my social work qualification. And I'll tell you more about that in a bit. Thank you so much, Inga.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, we've been friends for a long time, but it's amazing to see how you've grown and flourished and really embraced who you are and the things that you love to do.
Yeah.
So, can you share with us a little bit about what does a DEI specialist do?
Okay, great. Basically, in South Africa, the diversity, equity, and inclusion space is anchored on the Employment Equity Act of 1998, number 55. And it's basically ensuring that there is equity and fair treatment and freedom from discrimination in the workplace on designated groups, which are racial groups that were previously disadvantaged in South Africa, as well as women, also included in the groups of people that were previously disadvantaged, as well as persons with disabilities. So my work focuses also on the empowerment of women now that today is International Women's Day, and wishing everyone a happy International Women's Day. And as you mentioned, Inga, the theme is embracing equity. And it's such an important theme because it is not just saying embracing equality, because equality is about us being treated the same as everybody else. And equality doesn't take into consideration all the years of disadvantage, of being held back, of not being included, of being treated unfairly. It doesn't take that into account. It says we are all equal, but equity says that what affirmative action do I need to implement to bring you up to the same level where you can have the same outcomes as somebody who was advantaged in the past. So it says, what else can I do for you to support you, to increase your ability to achieve the things that you want to achieve? So if you didn't get a good enough education, it means today I can give you more education, I can give you more access to university. So if you didn't get opportunities for interviews for executive positions, it means in corporates now we can give women opportunities to go to those interviews and excel in these executive positions that they are entitled, and entitled as in equally and equitably able to achieve the same as men and they basically their counterparts. So that's a full spectrum in terms of what we do in terms of equity and diversity and inclusion. So we also look at pay gaps. We want men and women to be paid the same for the same work. I think the issue of qualifications is no longer on the table. Women are highly qualified, highly technical, highly skilled. Now we want to show it in the numbers. We want 50-50 in the management positions, 50-50 in our boards, 50-50 in our executive positions, because the women are ready. And we've implemented affirmative action. Now the women are ready to take their place. So, are you ready as a woman to embrace equity? Basically, do you believe you should be part of that 50% in the board, in senior management positions, given the same platforms and same opportunities as men? And that's what embracing equity is for me. It's about you deciding that you are that one that is going to be in that technical space and drive the representation of women for yourself in the workplace. Yeah.
Yes, I am ready.
Yes.
Ready. And I know I speak for many women. We
Hmm.
are ready to see that gap closed, um,
Yes.
to see that, yes, we are equal to men, but we also need to be equitably equal,
Yes.
right? We need to take into account the injustices, the what we faced before,
Yeah.
so that, and I think a lot of people don't fully understand the difference between equity and equality. And both you and I, we are mothers to three children, and
Yes.
each of those kids are different. They may look alike, they may act alike sometimes, but they are different. And somebody that I came across this quote by Pedro Noquera, and he says, that's at the core of equity, understanding who your kids are and how to meet their needs. You are still focused on the outcomes, but the path to get there may not be the same for each one. And I wanted to display this quote for everyone and read it because it gives you a better understanding of what equity is. Because, yes, you love all your children equally, but you cannot treat them the same. You need to adjust according to their personality, according to their circumstance. There are so many things so many reasons why we need to adjust. I mean, for me, I can say I have three kids. They are all in very different age groups. I have a 20-year-old, and then I have a 14-year-old, and then I have a 7-year-old. And really, I cannot treat the 20-year-old like a 7-year-old, and I
Mhm.
cannot treat the 7-year-old like a 20-year-old. To take that into consideration in the way that we look um, to really implement equity in our daily lives. So thank you, Babala. I would like to say hello to some of our people that are tuned in. So let's go over to the comments. I We have Raven tuned in from South Africa. She is in Cape Town. Raven is actually a young woman. She is 14. Is it 14 of? Yes, 14. She's 14.
Awesome.
She's my niece, my cousin's daughter, and I'm just so happy to see her tuned in. On Facebook, I see somebody has tuned in and commented for us. Hi, beautiful ladies. Happy Women's Day. Stay strong and shine. Unfortunately, on some Facebook accounts, your security is high, so we cannot see who is making the comment. But thank you so much for being here with us. You stay strong and shine. Hello to you, Brenda Stain. Brenda says she's tuned in. Brenda is also in Cape Town, South Africa. So good to have you here with us. Thank you. And happy International Women's Day to all of the women that have tuned in. Oh, this is my daughter Dana. She says we can hear you both. So thank you, Dana. And Raven says happy International Women's Day to us. People are confirming they could hear us. Awesome. Thank you. And Dana says she's in the room beside mine. Oh gosh. And then Chris Solomon is my dad. He says they're watching from East London, South Africa. Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Solomon.
Thank you. Um, Hello to you, Ileana. She says, good morning, beautiful women. Happy International Women's Day to you, Ileana. Thank you for being here. And again, if you're watching live, drop us a comment or send us a note on the WhatsApp group. It's awesome to see the people and to be able to shout you out. So Brenda is also tuned in and sending us a message on AfriKaap Radio. She says she's tuned in and good evening. She's enjoying the music. And Cecilia also says, I'm loving your playlist, girl. Tanya, thank you for tuning in as well. She says, good evening. I'm tuned in. And Kenny Williams says, Eye of the Tiger. I'm tuned in as well. Yes, Cecilia says, Maya Angelou is her Shiro. I know. And thank you, Kenny. She says also, Kenny and Tanya both confirm that they can hear us. And Brenda enjoyed our India RE song. Thank you. Yes, it's one of my favorites as well. I think I'm just gonna be repeating songs for the sake because um, you know, I think about women empowerment and a lot of the message that we're sending out to our to our young people and to women out there today can be a little bit distorted, because what people are trying to say is women empowerment is um, really giving people permission to to be sexually free. And but I want to say that unfortunately they've got the wrong message. It's not just about that. Yes, we want to talk about being sexually free in a certain sense. I don't condone that sexually free behavior, just because we live in a different day and age where um, things happen to people that really can be prevented if they're not. And we don't have to look far. There are so many women that fall prey to certain things. But in any case, let us get on with the topic. I want to just make sure, yes, we've highlighted and said hello to all the amazing women that are listening in. So thank you for being here, and thank you, Babala, for being here as well. Um, I would love to just get on with the topic and let's talk about equity. You spoke about your qualifications.
Yes.
Can you share with us a little bit about your career journey? Where, how did you get to this point where you now are a DEI specialist?
Oh, great question, Inga. So, in 2005, I joined an organization after university. I already had my social work degree, but I joined in as a junior just to get as in terms of the opportunity. So I started out as a wellness officer, and it's really exciting work because I approached it from an academic point of view. And we did wellness programs, HIV and AIDS awareness, and then because of my background, I went into the research. So I researched the knowledge, attitudes, perceptions, and behaviors of persons regarding HIV and AIDS, and you link it up now by talking about sexual health and sexual freedom, because that's what we were dealing with, talking about HIV and AIDS and the consequences of sexual networks and extensive sexual networks in spreading HIV and AIDS in the country, and how people needed to behave to protect themselves and the values that they had, and also just being open about the sensitivities of discussing sexuality, even in a workplace context. So it was a baptism of fire for a very young, at 22, a very young person in the workplace, talking about such serious issues, people's marriages, going into people's sexual health and sexual behavior, and then finding out and understanding what knowledge, what perceptions, what attitudes do they have towards HIV, and then using that research to encourage them to test. So it was a powerful intervention where we took the research, we applied it to a campaign to get people to test, and then we had great success, even recognized globally by the Global Business Coalition, for having over 70% of our employees testing. And it's because we use the strategy, thank you, to actually get employees to test, by connecting with the knowledge base, the attitudes, the behavioral base, and actually understanding what it is, that we were dealing with, and basically unlocking all the taboos to deal with the crux of the matter, which is you must know your HIV status. So that's how I started my career. So I
Um,
grew.
Sorry,
Um,
may I interject actually?
sure.
I just want to touch on that a little bit. And
Yes.
I know what drove you and
Mm.
what really propelled you into that space.
Yes.
Would you be willing to share a little bit
Yes.
with the audience, please?
Yes, I had an older sister who was infected with HIV the same time I started this work. And it was such uncharted territory in 2005, talking about HIV and talking about ARVs. And the same time, I was having a journey in the workplace, talking to people. I mean, it wasn't just about awareness and education. We had to go into their homes. We had to go with the nurses and check if people are okay. We had to dispel myths about taking ARVs. At the same time, at home, my sister was going through the same thing. The late great Sibongile Nguni, and may her soul rest in peace. So she used to share with me how she was having difficulty taking medication, how there was just so many misconceptions, and eventually, because of the opportunistic infections, she succumbed to AIDS and passed away in 2005. And it was a very difficult time for all of us, for our whole family. But it just propelled my work even more in terms of the seriousness of it. She
Yes.
wasn't the only one. There were colleagues, there were employees.
Fif-
Um, yeah, and we set up memorials to make sure that people understood that this work is serious. Our
Yeah.
sexuality is a doorway into our lives, and so many things can happen to us just by exercising that freedom. There is a particular way
Yes.
that we can conduct ourselves to protect ourselves. There are huge consequences for that.
They are.
So
Wow.
it's freedom with responsibility and accountability,
Yes.
and which can come at a cost of a life in some circumstances, which was completely unnecessary. Had she gone for treatment earlier, had she accepted, there's a soul process, a mind, body, and soul process. Had she accepted the tragic way that she was infected by a fiance, so had she accepted that, and had she forgiven herself for that experience, or subjecting herself to that experience and
Yes.
opening herself up because she blamed herself, and that's really what she could not get over. She could
Mm.
not get over that she had opened herself up to that experience. So
Wow.
people now talk about living positively and taking your ARVs, which is great because that way you can extend your life. What's happened is happened, and
Yes.
the more you accept it, you can actually live long and extend your life, and talk about being there's a show even on TV on living openly and positively with HIV. Even at my workplace, we started groups for people living with HIV and talking openly about that particular experience, which was so powerful for me
Yeah.
because it's that one thing, that shame that made her ill. You know what happens to your body when you're stressed, and especially
Mm.
when you put all the blame on yourself and you don't recognize your own humanity and how fallible we are as people. We make mistakes. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. I'm so sorry that um
Yeah.
you had to go through that, Um it's not an easy road to walk to be able
Mhm.
to see, you know, the
Mhm.
impact of this disease on
Mhm.
something that you love.
Yeah, no.
And
Yeah.
yet it is something that was part of your journey
Yeah.
and really helped you to become who you are today.
Yes, absolutely. So in my career, then I went on to practice as a social worker in the workplace. And that's exactly it. It had strengthened me to want to see an impact in people's lives. So counseling wasn't just a conversation; it was a change. It was a change process. There had to be results. There had to be a transformation, because I'd seen at a very young age that um, having certain mindsets and attitudes can be deadly, quite
Yes.
literally. And going into depression, going into anxiety and stress, and not having boundaries, letting other people run your life is just not, is not the kind of of life that or impact um, or lack thereof I wanted in my counseling relationship. So I went into the employee assistance space where we did awareness on sexual harassment and burnout and fatigue and stress management, and just being able to give control back to the person who needed the support and letting them know, you know what, it is your life and you are responsible and accountable and you are the one who's making the decisions. So the sooner you take charge, the better your life will be. And I supported in both employees as well as managers in that journey. And it wasn't easy work. It was very challenging work because people's problems are real. Employee assistance is a real thing. People are stressed, are bullied. They have marital problems, family problems, children, financial problems. Work relationship problems, so there are a whole lot of issues that affect us as individuals. And it became even, well, I wasn't practicing as an EAP in 2020, but it became so clear how meaningful that work was when we entered into COVID. So running wellness days, telling people be healthy, exercise, eat healthy, and take care of your health, take care of your mental health, became the most important job in 2020 when you needed both your health and your mental health to survive that pandemic. So I feel like I've been so affirmed by having gone through all that and actually seeing how important it is. So I felt like, okay, so then we reap the benefits of having spent all these years since 2005 telling people to be healthy and telling people to seek psychological support when they need it, which will strengthen our workforces to be able to go through things like COVID-19, for instance. So for me, it really came um, to a head, to basically a pot, a melting pot of basically a place where we were vindicated, if for lack of a better word, for the focus and the attention and the work that we had spent our lives pouring into our employees. Yeah.
I
And
love
then
that.
that's after that, then yeah, and then I went into the diversity, equity, and inclusion space with a firm um, passion for advocacy already, because I knew that there's policies and procedures and practices that we needed to change in the workplace to bring real change into people's lives. And I'm passionate about doing that work now and ensuring that there's affirmative action measures and bringing people into better circumstances and basically self actualizing in the workplace. Yeah,
Wow. I
thanks.
love that. I love to hear your journey and how you came to be where you are today, because it's important.
Mm,
It's important to know that regardless of what you do,
mm,
we need to do it with passion. We
yes,
need to do it as if we're doing it for God, really, as an
yes,
act of service, an act of worship to Him. But also, we need to realize that whatever we do, be it big or small, it is something that will contribute to who you become step by step, day by day. So, thank you for sharing your career journey with us. Um, I know that, for me, I know that I've always loved people, and I love to see them grow and flourish. And um, so, my love for people is what drives me to do what I do. Whether I'm coaching somebody, whether I'm offering them a service, or whether I am just sitting here and interviewing somebody, it's because I love people. And I love to be able to help others be elevated. So thank you, Babala, for that. Um, I'd like to share one of my favorite quotes with you, and that is by Kevin Cruz, and it says, "Life is about making an impact, not an income." So I want to also say, you are making a tremendous impact, and I
Thank you.
see it. I see it in everything that you do. And
Thank you
this,
so much, Mia.
you're welcome. And this is why I nominated you to be Wonder Woman today, because we as women, like I said before, we often look at ourselves and say, "Oh, I'm just an ordinary woman,"
It's
but
true.
we don't realize that we're making an extraordinary difference. So thank you. Thank you for the way that you pour into the lives of others through your work, um, and in other parts of your community. So,
Thank you.
um, my next question for you is, how does your work in DEI relate to community work?
Oh, an awesome question, Ings, is because I think when we define community, we need to extend the definition to include the workplace. I know we know about careers, we know about jobs, and I feel like I have a special privilege of doing the kind of work that I do because it is in service of others. It is basically in service of employees. And yes, we want a sense of community at work, right? And organizations will say, let's create a sense of community because if we are having a sense of community about organizational objectives, then the organization will make more money, will be able to achieve our goals, and the whole reason why we're getting paid will be achieved. But I want to extend it further. I want to say, let's have communities for also the benefit of the employee. We spend most of our time, our waking hours in the workplace. Let those relationships be really legitimate and create connectivity, and let us be those people in the workplace that pour into each other's lives. So you might not be in a human resources or human services type of role, but if you've survived cancer, you can join a session that's talking about cancer awareness and share your journey with the rest of the employees, and which is now your community. And that for me is community service. If you've been through marital issues and made all these people that have 50, 60 years of marriage, they should be getting onto platforms in their workplaces and sharing all these beautiful lessons they've learned in their relationships and what makes them successful that other people can grow from. Even people now, we see it more with women empowerment. Women executives are getting on stage and saying, this was my journey as an executive, and this is how I would like to empower the younger women to show them that, you know what, I'm not kicking the ladder away from the building. I'm putting the ladder against the building so the next person can climb up after I've reached the top.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that is community. And very often we ignore the contribution we make. We just want to go into the office, clock in, clock out, and we don't realize that when a person passes away, there's a memorial service at the workplace and people have to talk about you. And if they don't know you, what are they going to say? If they didn't have a relationship with you, if you weren't part of them, if you didn't contribute, they will say great employee, and that's it.
That's
And I
it.
think there's more to us than that. you
Yes.
know you could have been that encourager, you could have been that humane person, you could have been that supportive person, you could have been that giving person, pouring yourself out, as you say, in other people's lives, not just coming in, getting the income, and getting out. So I challenge everyone, even outside of the human resources space, to go and be a community member in your organization, not only for organizational goals to be achieved, but also for community in the workplace. Then we won't have cultures like bullying, or stab your way to the top, because people are human at work and they know that they also contributing to the well-being of others. Do
Wow.
people care about the well-being of others in their teams? Do they care about the well-being of their colleagues? We need to work differently. And for me, that is community. That is creating more meaning in the workplace.
Wow. If you've been listening, we are live on AfriKaap Radio talking about um, International Women's Day and the theme of it, which is embrace equity. Thank you, Babala, for that. Oh my word. So many awesome, awesome nuggets that you pointed out there. And I want to say that, you know, we can, of course, we can be like two ships in the night sailing
Mm,
past each other. That is life, how life
mm,
usually happens. But it's up to us how we connect with one another. And I would like to encourage you to connect heart to heart. Share about who you are, build a rapport with somebody, get to know them as a person, not just your colleague in the workplace or not just
mm,
your neighbor. Because,
mm.
one day you may need some salt and you need to knock on somebody's door. And they will look at you like, who the heck are you? And less inclined to listen and to speak with you. So
Mm.
thank you. I need some water. Excuse me. Um, yes, thank you. So why is it? Why do you do this kind of work?
Thanks. It's are you good there, my friend? It's about making that contribution. It's about that impact, you know. I don't think I could do work that I wasn't passionate about. So it does take a bit more extra effort. You have to look after yourself, so that you're not pouring from an empty cup. It's very important. I think being strong on its own is overrated. You need to be kind of person who who's resilient, and who's able to connect with your God and make sure that you are getting filled up inside, and then you're able to pour out to other people. It's a giving job. It would be, I think, an interesting perspective, to have a job where you are taking instead of giving all the time. There is a balance, there must be boundaries, which is why I'm starting to talk about taking care of yourself first. And then you can be a person who's a giver and a person who's a contributor, like yourself, Ings, a person who pours into other people's lives, who wants to see people improve, who wants to make a difference in the world, and who's making an incredible impact on other people's lives. I don't think, especially today, that we can underestimate the importance of positivity, of creating good psychological spaces for people, and being good psychologically ourselves in relation to others. I don't think that can ever be underestimated. I think it's basically what life is really about. How we encourage ourselves, and how we then relate to other people and create health in other people, and not destruction, and dysfunction in other people. And that is a process that starts with ourselves. So I really believe that my work is in giving to other people, and I do it freely. Every other day, people are getting promotions, and I'm like, wait, what about me? But I do it freely. I open-heartedly. It is about them. It is about the fact that they are ready. The opportunity is there for them. It's the fact that they can achieve equality, and self-actualize and get to where they need to be. So that is the reward. It is actually seeing people prosper and be successful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh my word. Um, okay, let's just go to the comments quickly and see what people are saying. Oh, uh, so it's actually my mom, Theresa Solomons, that's tuned in. So thank you. And Chrislyn says, Baba Loya, your passion to help others is really inspiring. I salute you. Thank you. And she also says, women using their pain to guide their path to help others. You are a true warrior, Babalo. Awesome. I love to see that. And look who is tuned in as well. This is your daughter, um, Tahira Solombella. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Nice to see you.
Thanks. Thanks, Papa.
And hello to you, Cami Hoisey. She says, we spend more time at work than we do with our families. Great point that community is huge. Yes, we never think really that, work is part of your community.
Hmm.
Like Cami says, we spend so much time,
It's
uh,
incredible.
just with our work family.
Mm.
Not, why not? Thank you. I want to ask actually, your work in equity, how does it impact your family life since your daughter now just popped in?
Yeah, it really does. It has a huge impact on my family life. Like yourself, I've got three daughters and very huge age gaps. Tyra is 21, and I think she's keen on remaining 21 for the rest of her life already. She says, "No, I'm not turning 22." So, and then I have Kanya, she's turning 10, and then a small baby, 18 months, Mandlakazi, which actually incidentally means great woman power, great power. It is the
Wow.
great power of God, and it is the great woman power as well. Having three girls, it was just so significant for us. So the work also pours into that. I really believe that gender equity starts at home. And I know people are not going to like what I'm going to say, but it starts with girls at home. Everybody in this journey of diversity, equity, and inclusion says, bring in the men. We need them to support us. Here's my point. Yes, we do. But your girl child is in a relationship and they need to affirm, to be affirmed, and to assert themselves in that relationship. And if you're not teaching them at home about equality and about discrimination and about coercion and all these other things on women empowerment,
Mm,
then they are not empowered to be in a healthy relationship.
mm,
So for me, it has everything. We as women with girl children have a high responsibility to teach our girls because I believe more in self advocacy than I do in being advocated by somebody else.
yeah,
So, yes, teach your boy children how to empower women so that they can be great husbands and great partners one day. But for us as women with girl children, it is our main priority to make sure all the girls are not getting into situations where they're losing their power or giving away their power in ways that are not serving them.
mm,
So it's exactly what I tell women in the workplace. In the workplace, you must affirm yourself and take your place and understand who you are. And if that's why I asked, are you ready? Are you ready to be the next executive? Because you have to be the one applying for that position. You have to go for that interview and you have to believe you can take that job. And you have to be qualified and ready to deal with everything that comes after.
wow.
So then, the same with our girls. Are they ready to take their place in the world and to claim their space and be equitable? and be those people who will go into a relationship and set the boundaries and not wait for this great guy that's been raised by another great woman to treat them equitably. They themselves need to self advocate and be in a position to get what it is that they want in life. Whether it is broadening their career aspirations, not being told that you can't. Like Kanye, for instance, she wants to be an engineer, so we're busy talking. Is it an IT engineer? Is it a doctor? Doing engineering because she's interested in that. And she says, why can't it be all of them? And that those are the kinds of girls we want to raise. The ones who say, yes, I can be an engineering doctor and I can be an IT specialist at the same time. Why does it have to be one? And that's where my work flows into my home life and how I raise my girls. Yeah.
Yes, because empowered women will empower other women.
Yes.
And that is really what we need to remember every day, not just, when it comes to relating to others outside of home, but also inside our homes as well. We need to remember that we are here to empower these girls who are becoming women.
Yeah.
We need to empower them to be able to take up their place, take up their position, and operate from with that position as well. Because we also need that reminder sometimes that it's important to take up our position and to operate from that position, to know who we are, and to know that we need to operate from within that space. You know, I've watched many. I love watching like cop shows, right? And
Yeah.
I've seen in, and I think this is probably within the states, where there's a police commissioner that oversees the entire police division in a city, and they give out cards where, to their different family members. So if anything ever happens, they need to show this card to the police officer that's in charge, so that they are aware that they are connected to that police commissioner. And you see it many times when a son or a daughter of the police commissioner gets pulled over for whatever, whether it's drunk driving or running a red light. The first thing that they do is hand over the card and say, basically, I am so and so's connection. And so
Mhm.
they operate from that position of what they are, of who they are. And we need to remember that that's what we need to do as well. As women, we need to operate from the position of knowing that we are women and we are here to empower others. We are here to make a difference. We are here to impact the lives of others. So, anyway, Babawa, we are at the top of the hour. So I want to say thank you to you for sharing your journey with us, for sharing who you are as a DEI specialist, and showing us how it is that we need to bring about equity in our own lives. Thank you again. Thank you to those that are listening live with us. Know that we appreciate you. And I want to say to the women that are watching, that are out there, that are listening, here's to strong women. May we know them, may we be them, and may we raise them. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for having me, Inga, so much. What a
It's
wonderful session. Thank you.
it's my pleasure, and we must do it again. I will definitely reach out. But may you be blessed and enjoy the rest of your Women's Day. I'm going to
Thank you.
be ending off this session and going back to radio, where we can chat with the audience, continue the conversation on AfriKaap radio. Sorry, lost Babaloa, but that's okay. We are we're going to continue this on afrikaap.co.za. And please drop us a comment and let us know if you would like to come over to the WhatsApp group. Um, if you do want to, you can definitely send us a message on the WhatsApp group, and let us know that you're tuned in and what any messages that you would like us to read for you. You may do so on Africa Radio's WhatsApp group, which is, I'm going to give you the line now, the number. I'm sorry, I have to scroll when I'm looking for it. So it's +2 7 6 9 7 1 4 4 5 2 0 4. Once again, +2 7 6 9 7 1 4 4 5 2 0 4. And we'll see you there. Thank you, Bubs. Make it an amazing day further. And anyone watching, we'll see you back here next week for another episode of Wonder Women Wednesday. Be blessed. Come join us on africa.co.za. Bye for now.